in the studio. Folks don't know how to act when they come to your house. Just disrespect your stuff. Put your feet all up on their furniture. That's why you don't let everybody come to your house, man. Good morning. Good morning. What's happening, family? Welcome to the show this morning. It is Michelle Bryant to listen to WNOV 860 AM, 106.5 FM. Let me say good morning to the bros in the studio, and we got an extra one. He's the unwanted house guest.
No. We want him around here.
Right now.
I'm just saying. Wait, did you say you was leaving with your food? What?
No, he come bringing bearing gifts, as they say. So he the kind we want. That's the kind of we want, Michelle.
After they cook. Because they got to go.
Especially if they try to crack the mic before you, right?
Leave the potato salad and go on back to your house.
I brought you some egg salad.
No, you didn't bring me no egg salad. You don't eat that. Let me just say good morning again. What's up, Debo? How you doing this morning, bro?
Long day on yesterday, but I'm doing good.
Man, I like that shirt, man.
Nice. Thank you.
Oh, I need that. Where you get that shirt from?
I don't recall. Ollie North, that was his favorite line on the whole thing. I don't recall.
That's hot.
Recall, though, Michelle,
Frederick Douglass, Harriet, Rosa, King, and Obama. Oh, they got Alabama. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna need that. Where you get the shirt from?
I don't recall. Seriously.
So that means you haven't had it long?
It's a couple years old.
So that means you have had your wear and you ready to let it go?
Well, no.
Yeah.
I like to pull it out every now and then, especially when I know you're gonna be in my presence. I'll definitely be wearing it again.
So you're gonna just be nasty like that. Okay. Hey Carvey, how you doing this morning? Met your beautiful mother yesterday and the family.
I still didn't get a chance to meet her.
Dude, I just want to say Carvey's baby brother was in a stroller that was laid back like a little bed. Dude. This boy is 3, just turned 3, hanging all off the edges, feet dragging the floor. I was like, how old is this boy? I thought he was like 4 or 5. Carvey mom said, nah, he just turned 3. He gonna be way bigger than you, Carvey. He a Mack truck already. Long, thick, like he weigh more than Carvey do right now. Baby Lou. Jalen is a monster. I'm telling you. I was so enamored with it. He slept through the whole thing. I never woke up. Everybody just kicking it. He was like, "Yeah, y'all interrupted my sleep." Oh, he would have been cutting up. Well, I said he weighed more than Carvey right now. So it was cool meeting your family. I'm saying that's how thick he was, man. And then we got another brother in the studio. What's up, Sasquatch?
Did you want me to turn his mic on?
Thank you.
Oh, my goodness.
Thank you.
I'm waiting for your direction.
We still run the house. Thank you so much. People, it's not even on. Yeah, come in here, Bogart. Good morning, Mr. Brown. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. I'm well. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm better. That
that you see me. Thank you.
Nope. But that I see food.
Wow.
My mantra: if you eating, I'm eating.
Oh, my goodness. Let them wings not show up.
I found that out at the Blues Fest. She whipped a fork out of her purse and just commenced to eating, as the old folks say, commenced to.
Oh.
I mean,
you did.
You had a whole bunch of food.
Yeah, I did.
It was
I
more.
just never heard you say, if you eating, I'm eating. Now I know. If I'm eating.
Well,
I still don't buy into it yet, so.
Look, this brother cooks. And so, just to be, like, irritating, he'll send a picture of a pan of wings or, a pan of this. And I'm like, so am I getting some? Usually no, I'm not getting it. It takes forever to bring it to me. So this morning he was up and he was
I
like,
haven't seen him here in about 6 months. It's been about 6 months.
Because he's trifling. That's all I can say. Would you disagree?
I do disagree.
Really?
I object.
Is this the first time I've gotten food in
this year? No, it is not.
Dude, it's like June. I think it is.
Okay, we'll let you.
Okay.
Are we saying are we leaving it to food, or are we throwing the cookies in too?
Oh, don't do that.
No, because if the cookies are in there, then,
I haven't got
not
cookies
the
in a
first
minute.
time.
I'm getting more food than cookies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess because you sell cookies, and I'm not buying them.
Up my profit.
But she did support during the Advocacy Day.
Yeah, that's right. We did.
You did.
We
Yes,
bought
you did.
cookies
Yes,
during
yes, you
Advocacy
did.
Day.
And I was up at up at
the Capitol.
Capitol,
Yeah,
I
it was
recall.
great. He did.
But she hasn't supported since then. But that's okay.
Yeah, but,
You know what?
yeah.
I'm
she brought about
just playing.
6 boxes that day. She still should have. No, she shouldn't have any.
It went to
They were
it went to the
gone.
participants.
Right, I get it. But I'm just saying that was a pretty
But, yeah.
hefty.
I really don't
support.
like the way you kind of
But
instigate.
I really think she had got real food and probably cookies this year because it's June. It's almost July.
Bruh,
So if you're telling me no,
I'm telling you,
we'll just have some problems.
we-
We'll have some problems.
well, we already got problems.
Well,
That's why you up here trying to make good and bring me some food because you already know you got problems with me. But let me ask you a question
Go
while I
ahead.
got you here.
right.
So, did you bust out the bell? You about to ring it?
I was about to ring
Oh, referee.
Yeah.
Fight.
Let me ask you while I got you. So, I know that we have a program here at WNOV where we do entrepreneurship with young people. Well, not we, but Doug.
Right, Doug.
And we have the show on Saturdays, and then they have a speaker series where they're going into the public schools.
Right.
I understand that you have gone twice now.
Yes, I've gone twice
So I was actually offended
because of the reviews that you got the first time that you went.
Because I've gone to speak.
And she went after me the last time. What happened last
And
time?
I don't know, but it was
okay.
something like you was better than me
Right.
or something like that. But I think it's because you brought cookies.
No,
I did. Did you bring cookies?
The last time I did.
You was
The first
bribing
time I
little
did. The first time I
kids.
did it.
Anyway.
I don't think I did. All I know is, and I quote, Miss Michelle, you were almost as good as the cookie man who was here last time.
Wow.
I just think that young people are enamored when,
Wait, can I ask this?
Sasquatch walk up in the building.
Isn't there a little something in the cookies that might have made you feel some kind of?
Thank
You know
you.
what I'm saying?
Thank you. Debo, now we back on
I'm
the same
paying attention.
team. Now we here.
I don't even think they got cookies the
Yeah.
first time. The second group did because I made sure I brought some for everybody. But
So let me just ask though, because what was it like talking to the kids? Were they receptive? Did we get some entrepreneurs out of the deal?
I think the first group, there was definitely some entrepreneurs. I had to, kind of coax them and coerce them into talking and, just find different angles. The second group, when I went back in May, I mean, it was tough. There were like just a few people that were talking, and I was like, you know what? I got a bag full of cookies. Who wants a cookie? And so I was like, you got to say something real if you
to
want
be able to get a
right?
cookie.
And so if they wanted a cookie, they had to give a good response to whatever the question was, or tell me something good, tell me why they're in this class. Whether it was even that one girl was like, you know what, Mr. Duran or Mr. Brown, I really didn't even want to be in this class. They made me take it, but I'm here now. I mean, I guess I'm glad I did. I said, you know what, you get 2 cookies for honesty, because I know what it's like to be somewhere you don't want to be, and you got to be here all year.
Well, I mean, I'm glad because I enjoyed the experience when I went,
It was
because
great. I mean, it was.
Just talking to kids, and I don't know how, I don't even remember what my whole topic was, but I remember having this point where I was talking about money,
Right.
and having kids understand and appreciate like what kind of bread your parents drop. Because I had kids in there with the Louis Vuitton belts on, the Louis Jordans, and then this and then that, and I'm just like,
But you know what I found?
You know what it takes to make that happen,
and they
didn't appreciate
they don't
it.
appreciate it. But
No.
what I think is even a bigger disconnect with today's youth, they don't understand slavery. Like they are standing on the shoulders of some greats and some other people and some other great people, and to them, slavery is just something in a textbook, or it's just
if it's even being taught,
if it's even being taught. But
you
it's such a disconnect. It didn't resonate. It had no. I mean, I could have just told them, I just met, I don't know, dead Michael Jackson's ghost, and they would have been like, okay, and what does that have to do with slavery, or how's that? What's the equation? Like,
and the frustrating, because
happen.
yesterday coming off Juneteenth, and thanks for the text that you shared. It was really cool. I appreciate it. I was like, yep, I got this on a t-shirt. But down at Juneteenth yesterday, one of the things that, and it was an amazing day. Like I said, when we were doing the live remote yesterday, probably about 150 participants in the parade, huge lineup, more than 400 vendors down there.
Nice.
And the day was scheduled to end at 4. And I remember thinking initially, that first, like, why 4? Because that seems so early. But then you understand, who's moving around,
Right.
who starts moving around 2:00, 2:30. And I had this moment in the midst of everything amazing that happened in terms of camaraderie and unity and, just, seeing people we haven't seen in forever, the love, just everything. Then around 3:00, sitting on the corner over by Fast and Friendly, whatever that is, that, no, that's Locust, I think, whatever street that is, by the library. So I'm standing over there, and these young sisters walk out, and I can't tell if they're like teenagers, but if they weren't teenagers, they were very young, 19, 20.
Right.
Okay. They all have on bikinis, but they had on like some form of a cover up. Okay. But you could see through, because they were like swimsuit cover ups. So you could tell everybody had bikinis on. And they were grouped together. And then for no reason whatsoever, like, I ain't hear the music. Maybe they heard it. Somebody had it on their phone. They just broke out dancing. But it was the most strip club vulgar.
They wanted to stop traffic and make it rain.
Basically. And as I stood there, and I mean, like on the filthy ground, hands on the ground, behind up, it propped up in the air. And as I stood there, I said sat, but as I stood there, I said, that's what you thought today was about? Right. That's what you thought this day, right. June 19th. You thought it was about this,
not being
coochie popping, booty up in the air, swimsuit on, in the middle of the street, just making a spectacle of yourself. That's what you thought today, right, of all days, was about. Right. And then I had to think back as a parent, as elders, as older people in the community, and it just felt like for a moment, like we failing. We are not imparting history. No. We're not helping even the folks that got like good kids, and I'm not saying these people are bad, but judgment is off. But how many of even the solid kids, going to school, education, whatever, they still don't fully.
It doesn't resonate. It's not fully clicking.
We're not teaching.
And I mean, as hard as my age group when we were in high school, as hard as like people fought to get an African American studies class. I remember my friend's name. Her name was Katrina Childs. Nicolay did not have an African American studies class.
Okay.
And so she fought tooth and nail
to make sure
that
she was a student at the time.
She was a student. She was a student. One of my good friends, and I'm like, girl, you are serious about this. And she was like, yeah. She's like, we have all these white counterparts, all these other types of history and literature, and you've got a whole class on Shakespeare and all this other stuff. She said, we need a whole semester or at least a semester, if not a whole year, of just an African American studies class. And I'd be damned if she didn't make it happen.
And like, what year was that? What year do you think that's?
She probably got that in around 92, 93, because it was there before I graduated.
And so you think about the effort to roll back education right now to, we down in Florida, you can't teach this, can't teach that. We're moving African American studies out of the AP lineup of offerings. But the other part of it now, more so for me, is while we fight those fights, there are things we can do to help ourselves. There are things that we can do to strengthen our own community. Right. And it just doesn't feel like it's happening on some level. No. Like I'm even with my grandson, there are all these books I'm buying, that speak to, Black history, right. Black Lives Matter, Juneteenth, all these different topics. And I'm trying to figure out, okay, like, so he's ready for this one now. Okay, this is it one about he's 7 or 8, right. But this history is going to be taught.
It needs to be.
There's no way this boy is going to be my grandchild and not understand and have reverence for the struggle.
And I know, like at my mom's school, they, at every grade level, it's being, implemented or some.
Your mom's school. What's the name of your mom's school?
Believes in Christ Christian Academy.
Okay.
They definitely, make sure they indoctrinate, Black achievements, African American, history, slavery. You're learning about all those people, throughout from K4 through 8th grade, and to add on to that, this year I want to be able to create some kind of program called Black Thought, where we bring different people from the community in to speak to the 4th through 8th graders or 5th through 8th grade student body, and to stimulate the Black thought of the minds of the children. They don't necessarily have to be Black, but I want them to stimulate the Black thought in these kids. And at least it'll help them, when I start teaching, like even when I go, to the school for Douglas, I always reference slavery.
Mm.
I always reference that. I'm like, this is an entrepreneur class. Well, slavery is probably one of the biggest, not entrepreneur like for us, but it was a big enterprise. It was big business. I was like, America wouldn't exist.
Right.
We wouldn't be a superpower if it wasn't for,
hundreds of years of free labor.
Right, free labor. I was like, this country was built on free labor. That's why there's so many rich people, or there's
institutions,
there's blue
right.
bloods and institutional wealth, and so I do my best, especially speaking to the youth. I try to let them know. I was like, slavery is real. I was like, let the wrong person get in office, it could come back in some form.
Because Keith always says, particularly when he's talking to me and giving me a hard time, he was like, it always leads back to slavery for you, Justin and Michelle. But I'm like, it started there, so of course it has to lead back because that's where it started.
There's this book. I'll have to get you a copy, but it's by this brother named Michael Harriot, I think.
Okay.
And it's called like African History AF. And it gives like the true, unadulterated, non-lily white version of African American slavery in America. And so the atrocity, the horrific, nature of it, just the true grit.
And it's no, I got the right. Because I was like, get ready to ask you what does AF say? But the book is actually titled Black AF History.
Right. Okay, Black AF History.
Because I was like, with the AF coming behind history, I was like, what does that mean? Right. I was like, well, just look it up while he's talking.
Right.
But when you look at it in this context.
Yeah, I heard this brother speak on NPR one day. So I was just polarized by what they were talking about. So I got to get this book. I need a copy of it. So
Black
I just came last
history.
Week, so I haven't had a chance to crack it open yet. But.
And Harriet is Harriot for folks that look it up. Yeah, okay, I got it now. Yeah. I got it now. New York Times bestseller, yes. NAACP Image Award nominee. All right. Well, like I said, I wanted to make that quick connection while you were here because I know you have been doing that. And like I said, I woke up with that just on me this morning because it was. I'm thinking about what I was doing at their age, right. And the hustle and trying to, figure out life and be about it.
Exactly.
And the other part that was so sad for me is that this is the only way you knew how to get attention.
Oh yeah. And
you don't even know what really attracts attention. And is this the attention you want?
That's negative attention.
Because then when a brother or somebody step to you and they grope you, touch you where they're not, then you ready to fight.
You got some of these girls in their young 20s, and I learned this from my niece, one of my nieces, unfortunately, talking about I need to find me a sponsor,
a sponsor.
Somebody, I was like, what do you mean a sponsor? Right. And I said, well, where
is that like a sugar daddy?
Right. And I said,
okay,
we used to call that term from. And you don't need no sponsor. Like, I'm just like,
Fonnie Willis. It needs to be on a t-shirt and taught in school. A man is not a plan. No, he is a companion.
Right.
I will never forget that she said that because as they tried to make it seem like, she hired this dude so she could benefit from the salary that he was generating from this Trump case. Like, I got my own education. I got my own money. Right. I don't need this brother to go eat. Like to go to a play? What are you talking about? So, but yes, I have definitely heard the phrase or the term sponsor.
But when you've got older women passing that information down to younger women, like it's just perpetuating this.
Or right, because before you say older women passing down, or you got brothers who present that as an option, which I like I said, I never forget. I went to the gas station and it wasn't a brother that did it, but it was a on these Arab gas station owners. And I went to the gas station. And he said, do you need help with your bills? And like, literally, I'm going up here to buy a newspaper and a Coke. Right. Do you need help with your bills? And I was like, what? And he said it again. I said, what are you talking about? He was like, I date you. I help you. I was like, mother.
That's how you coming at me?
Oh my God. You definitely talking to the wrong chick today. So it's not just about women,
right? But whoever is implanting that knowledge.
Let's clean that up.
I'm just saying in the case because I was talking about my niece. She told me one of her friends told her, and it wasn't a dude.
Okay.
So I just in the instance of what I was talking about, but no, I know it, and it goes both ways because when I was living in Chicago, I had this woman that I was dating.
It's a whole bunch of smiling. Please don't tell me you had a sugar mama.
No,
I'm getting ready to be appalled.
No, oh no, because she offered to be my sugar mama, but I was not. When I found out the requirements and stipulations,
Devo walked in.
I was like,
like, what's happening? What's going on?
Like, no, I'm good making my and my banker salary.
What did Carvey and I miss? You hear that, Carvey? Sugar mama.
Well, I'm just saying.
For the record, I did not have a sugar.
Oh, I'm talking about it. As soon as you leave the studio, I'm going to say more.
Well, we're not going to talk about your little Arab.
Hey, I told that story, so and everybody know how the end went. Boy, please, it's not necessary. Let's not play with my food. I don't like people to play over my food. Please don't do that.
Even if you did bring it.
That's how you gonna come back in?
No.
That's how you gonna come back in.
I'm with you. I'm just saying it don't matter that
you
brought it.
Go around the cook corner and get you your cookies. When I walk out.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, I got them.
Okay.
All right, y'all. Well, I am up against, I think, my first break. Is that right?
Are we there already?
Yeah, we're there.
We will see you after these.
Will we? We will not. See, you got it right. Wait, I didn't even invite him.
I'm turning this mic off. Thank
you. I just said, bring my wings by the studio because you right around the corner. All right, family, let me take a break. Michelle Bryant, WNOV, 860 AM, 106.5 FM. Be right back. good friends, Ron Brown, aka the Cookie Man, the brother who keeps the sister fed when he on his job. Clearly been off most of this year.
Should I be turning his mic on yet?
You know what? Let's hold off on
Okay,
that. Let's hold off. Just, wait, you surprised? Why? What? Carvey say he's surprised you're not making jokes about the cookies. Why? What about the cookies? He did. Carvey. So.
Let's get those mics on, Michelle. We gotta get mad at
okay. No, it's what Carvey did.
Michelle's got to tell you the story.
You tell it, Debo. I like the way you tell it.
Day before yesterday, a couple days ago, Carvey's outside picking up paper out front. He's got the little picker. And these two kids come down the street, got their little shopping cart. They was like, "Excuse me, sir, would you like to buy some water?" He was like, "No, I don't want any water, but I've got some candy." And he pulls this little sandwich bag out of his pocket.
And he's jangling the candy.
And he's shaking it in front of him. And they, wait. And it's fresh. He added "it's fresh" to it. So I stood there and I watched that go down, and I said,
"Look, that's what I said. Was there a white man somewhere?
That didn't look right,
that's
man."
Not a good look.
Keith came in. Keith added a raincoat. He said he had a raincoat.
So he said, "You doing the cookie thing?"
Oh yeah.
I've got cookies.
It is a difference, Carvey.
And if you're good, you'll get two.
Invited to a school. He was supposed to be talking to kids. So, but I never still, and like 2 or 3 people said something about it yesterday.
They said what?
About the fresh candy. They wanted to know, did I have some fresh candy?
Fresh candy. I mean, were you at the factory?
Yeah, they was like, did you know we have any fresh candy left?
Michelle, we didn't even allow Carvey to go out on the parade trail because we were handing out candy. We were throwing the candy. Carvey would have been like, "Candy, I got jiggling." Yeah. We don't do it that way, Carvey. We just throw it from the car.
I can't even believe you had us bring this up again, dude.
Yeah.
How did you think he was gonna win?
He was trying to get the cookie man.
Look, yeah, what you said. Deron was like, "I'll give you 2." I couldn't even believe he set himself up to go right back down this road. But so yeah, let me work this into the conversation before I gotta switch gears. Yesterday, as a part of the Juneteenth celebration, a 15-year-old boy was wounded. A 17-year-old young man was fatally shot following a concert that happened at Washington Park on last night. This event was an event that was thrown by Von Mays and a group that he does to try to work with youth, and so there was a lot of anticipation about the event. It was called Juneteenth Peace Day MKE. So that's first. The event was called Juneteenth Peace Day MKE. The organizers, a group called This for the City, had arranged a concert, and I'm taking my info from the CBS 58 website. You can actually go on and see people that were slated to perform, rappers, some brother by the name of JP, 414 Big Frank, Lil Uzi, that whole name is a mess, Lil Uzi Vert, who are also going to be opening acts down at Summerfest. And so, well, I mean, at the end of the day, you still got to decide how you're going to conduct yourself, no matter who's performing and where. But at some point, drama breaks out, fights break out, heavy police presence. Even before the concert started, though, they did a lot to try to make sure that it was going to be safe, and things still happen. So there's been some pushback from people, particularly some folks in the media, who have tried to get at Von Mays and say, Von shows up onto the scenes of a lot of different things that go bad or go wrong in the city. And where is he now? We haven't heard a public statement from him about his own event that erupts in violence and ultimately ends with a fatality and another child shot. One of the things that I feel to a degree comfortable in saying is that people don't understand and appreciate why that event was done over at Washington Park. Last year at Summerfest, there was a group of youth that broke out into, fights and disruption of the event. And so in an effort to lure some of those people away from the regular Juneteenth celebration down on King Drive, this alternate event was scheduled. So number one, they knew who was coming. That's why there was a stepped up security presence. They know who I'm attracting. Like, people didn't understand and maybe fully appreciate that this brother was trying to put together an event to pull away any negative drama from the main event that was happening on King Drive. And to a large extent, that's what happened. Towards 3:00, I began to see a little shift in the crowd down at Juneteenth. Now you got all the brothers coming out, and there was just one brother. He was just so disturbing. He didn't, because it was hot as fire yesterday. He had no shirt on. His underwear was showing. He was sagging, but he had a ski mask with holes in it on his head. It's hot enough that you have no shirt on, but you got a ski mask on, with just the eyes and everybody's like, so he made people uncomfortable right away. And so you understood what it could be if people, don't try to figure out how to deal with this, circumvent it, check it in. And, so I just got to say that as people begin to see how this whole thing unfolds, I'm not going to ever stop supporting this brother. I believe that he does things with the right intent. He's willing to deal with the element of our community that other people run away from, walk away from. Right. He tried to provide programming. And again, whether you understand it or not, it was, the way I see it, intended to help everybody else be able to have a good time down at Juneteenth. Because I'm pulling away some of that demographic.
Because those same folks with those same guns would have been down there.
They would have been down there, absolutely. And they would have been even more reckless. So
yeah, so it's all in perspective and how you look at it. And in the community, I hope when we're talking about what happened at Washington Park, or when we're talking about this young brother, that at least I want to offer up a different narrative, helping people understand. He knew he was getting ready to deal with the toughest of the toughest and tried to create something different to keep, to keep everybody engaged and having a good time on Juneteenth. So I hope that he continues to try to do that work, because if he walks away, if somebody doesn't support him and like, oh my God, this happened, because one shooting could have been 5. It could have been, 10. And we just got to think about that.
This is the same brother. One night, my mother called me all hysterical. Some young lady just walked up on her porch, screaming and hollering, crying. She was a kid. And so I went there and I'm like, I don't know what to do. So I called Keon, and Keon said, well, hey man, let me put you in contact with Von Mays.
Okay.
So we called Von. It's 11 o'clock at night. He's responsive.
Right.
He answers the phone. He gives me some directions to go. We get the police involved, whatever, what have you. But just to have that resource, somebody that knew what to do, because I didn't have a clue. So, again, hats off to him. And even in talking to you this morning, the other perspective that you were able to add to and made me even look at it differently as far as what occurred there. Because as I begin to look at it, these again are the same folks that would have been down there.
Right.
And it could have been worse. Maybe it wouldn't have happened at all. We can't say.
Right.
But certainly it took some of that element away from the mass that the masses.
And and I'm so glad, to hear you, kind of say like, yeah, okay, it registers what it is you're trying to say, because people will paint a very different narrative or have a misunderstanding or not appreciate what was done so that everybody else can have a good time. And I'm the person going to take the hit that day. He knew when he put it together, you dealing with the toughest of the tough in terms of the crowd. So I just wanted to make sure. You want to get in?
I was just going to say, my hat goes off to him as well. I don't know him per se as well as you all do, but if we would have had somebody with that kind of, forethought or taking that initiative back in the 90s, African American World Festival would still be here today. If you had other things that could just sort of absorb some of the shock.
And then let me just say this, in terms of African World Festival, because the thing that's just so crazy, that incident happened. It was, they only had a shooting at African World Festival one time.
No, but what I'm saying is, just every year you go there's running, there's something, there's always something crazy. I'm not just talking about the shooting. I'm just talking about the foolishness or the rampaging that just sort of happens. The random running. You know, while you're at Summerfest,
that even happened yesterday to an extent, and there was actually a kid.
Kids get off on that, man.
Yeah,
they say
there was a young person who literally
start running, and that causes.
I'm not taking the violent. I'm not saying that one violent act stopped. You know, African World Festival. I mean, many things attributed to it, but I'm just saying, if just as a, you know, as a collective or a cohesive body, if we could come together, you know, and think and like, okay, well, we know this is what we're celebrating today, or this is what's happening this weekend, but what other satellite things could we have going on? Not just, you know, to pull away, but, you know, to ingratiate or to at least satisfy on different levels. Because as a diaspora, you know, of Black people, we all gravitate towards different things. You know, we all don't like just the same thing, you know, so I'm again, my hat goes off to, you know, Vaughn, because he's doing something that's, you know, innovative. And if more of us could get together and just collaborate to put together little satellite things, you know, we would be able to appease people, you know, we'd be able to appease the masses, but also, you know, at the same time, tamp down.
Yeah, you relieve some pressure on these events, quite frankly. And it's just so crazy. Carvey literally just pulled up a video of the young man on the ground bleeding. He literally just said, this is the video. Like, you know, so this is real time. This is my child, 17 years old. This is my child that's gone. But, you know, I'm going to go back to the thing that I said when you and I were first talking this morning, Deron, that we got to do a better job, man.
We do.
You know, when our children can figure out that entertainment and excitement is not what they doing, but the ability, you know, I think about what my son was doing at 17. This dude was, you know, going to Italy, you know, traveling in North America. I mean, I'm North Africa. He calling me like, Mom, I'm in Tangiers right now. You know, I'm watching this, like.
But that's partly because you instilled a lot of those great things in him to make him want to be better and be greater.
And that's why I'm saying we can do more. We can certainly do more as a community for our children.
When we go talk to those kids at the high schools or even just grade schools, I'll always ask them, I'm just like, you know, what do you want to be? And the first thing they'll say is, most of them, I want to be rich. Well, rich isn't, you know, that's not an occupation.
That doesn't guarantee happiness.
How are you going to be rich? By any means necessary. So I was like, whoa. I was like, you know what you're saying, right? Well, I mean, I'm not going to break the law. I was like, I don't know, because by any means necessary, I was like, you have so many other options. I was like, you could do this, you could do that, you know. And I start by telling them, I started my first business when I was 14. I was like, if I can start a business, you all can start a business.
But this is the other thing, and I'm glad you said that it's not just about rich, because how many people do we see that go to the NBA, NFL, that came from backgrounds in which certain things weren't valued and prioritized? So you became rich, but you still trifling while you rich. You know, you're still reckless while you rich.
It doesn't guarantee happiness.
It definitely doesn't guarantee happiness. I mean,
well, it does for me.
No, you know you lying.
So that she should have went on with Ali.
I am.
Ali. I can pay your bill.
Because I would not be working in the public sector if I cared about money.
You need help with your bills? I can pay your bills.
You know what? Don't pay my bill.
Telephone bill.
I'm good.
Automobile.
You gonna sing the song? Oh my God, that was a song.
I got a text, Michelle. They wanted you to know that the new word for that is not sugar daddy. It's sponsor.
That's what he said.
That's what I said.
Yeah, what you said.
I was trying to
that's how it started.
On it, but you know, she old.
You know, she old. Can't she just be old school?
He said she old. Like his grandma was.
You know, because that's crazy, man.
That's all right.
I walk up to the gas station and people be going like, "What up, school?" I'm looking around like, is he talking to me? School.
As in old school.
Right.
You like, wait,
right. When did that happen?
I'm gonna call me laughing like, you didn't know?
I didn't know. Honestly, I mean, it was like rude awakening. Like,
Carvey said school with a K.
Did he just call me school? I get in the car.
Keon even said it happened to you.
Mirror, I'm like, maybe I am.
You'll see all that. You'll see all that
great every morning, but
see it.
I thought this was just, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I had a moments when I'm in the store or something, and somebody be like, "Yes, ma'am," and I'm turning like, Who we talking to? Or you can be like, let her by. Like, oh, somebody, girl, wait a minute, fam. You let her by. I'm like, damn, am I getting old like that? So, yeah, Mr. Brown, I appreciate your comment, bruh. Can't wait for your segment to end.
I'm here till 9 o'clock.
No, sir.
Or actually, I think Keith wants me on his segment.
Really?
I'll be here till 10.
Oh, yeah, I'd love to see that moment. Love to see that moment. Well, so look, yeah.
Somebody asked me to ask Mr. Brown a question. Are you Bishop Cheryl Brown's son?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Yeah. He said, because that's why I said when he said the church, the name of the school.
Yes.
Believe
it was
yeah.
Keith.
Just
so you know, full disclosure.
Like I said, I'll be here till 10:15. You can ask me all the questions you want when you get here.
Well, you know what? While we're doing this, talking about history, the significance of Juneteenth, I would be remiss this morning if I did not reference the fact that we lost probably one of the most amazing athletes in this country's history, none other than Mr. Willie Mays, an absolute legend in the game of baseball, but somebody that was able to transcend to the extent that, people can even think that this is possible, to transcend race when it came to being identified as one of the greatest players of all time in the game. And the distinction that falls away from saying one of the greatest African-American baseball players, one of the greatest Black baseball players, to just one of the greatest American players of all time. And see, Kiana came in. My day has now been officially ruined.
There goes the neighborhood.
But I am so jealous. Tomorrow, I think is it tonight or tomorrow? There's going to be a special game played at Rickwood Field in Birmingham, Alabama, to honor Willie Mays. And I actually used to march on the field at Rickwood Field when I was in high school, in the band. And we always understood, again, because people made sure we appreciated the history. We always understood what it meant to be in that field, who had played there before, the significance of it all. So when you start talking about like the legacy, the history that Willie Mays will leave, I mean, this man, I think they said 12-time All-Star, game, and that he literally would be the first batter up and play the entire game. Even though you have risen to the status that you have, you are considered like, and he would say, because I know the fans want to see. I know the fans want to see me. So I'm here for the whole game. I'm playing every inning. But I am going to definitely take time. Today was already kind of planned out, but I'm definitely going to take time so we can talk about this brother, center fielder who, in terms of the Giants, they like the no other, hands down. The fact that they now have included the stats from the Negro League into the overall baseball records. So now we've seen Black men emerge as the best, batter of all times, best this of all time, home run, king, because we hadn't been included in those statistics. So there's so much to learn here. I can just see, I always think about Mr. Biddle here in Milwaukee, who has done everything he can to keep the image of the Negro Leagues alive and well. But let me just see briefly if I could pull this up. Willie Mays won the National League MVP in 1954 and 65, finished second 2 other times. He finished in the top 6 12 times. He made the All-Star team 20 years in a row. Wow. He is, by most measures, the second best all-around player in history, but they kill me because they're talking about behind Babe Ruth. And there's people like, he was at Babe Ruth. You can believe that. So, it depends on who telling the story. But like I said, I will make sure that we put something together to be able to honor this brother. I could hear my grandfather if he was alive. I actually watched baseball because of my grandfather. When games would come on, the Atlanta Braves was his team. The games would come on. He'd be like, come on, watch the game with me. I'm like, come on, man. Come on, watch the game with me. And literally, that was and it became our thing. You know, so when I knew games were coming on, me and him would kick back. Of course, I had to prepare a spread, and he walked me through it. Yeah, I mean, you know, people got to eat.
Wait a minute.
I didn't even realize I had a caller. Hold on, bruh. Did you ask can I cook?
I mean, I don't
I don't know why he having some kind of spasm.
Keon, you coughing
every time somebody say you cook, he go.
Let me just be clear. This Negro's feet was parked up under our table not that long ago, and came back a second day to about you got some more heads. It was more than brownies. You ate full dinner. Yeah. Don't play with me. Hold on. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning schools.
Wow.
Morning schools. Caught this story too, huh? Yeah. I was at the candy store.
And got called old school.
Man, them kids was in there cussing. Dude said, man, y'all stop all that damn cussing. Don't you see old school in the building? I'm like, yeah, that's slick.
Oh, you like that? You was looking around for old school? You didn't know they was talking about you?
No.
Wait, let me get this caller. I did not realize they had been holding that long. Hey, caller, what's happening?
Good morning, Miss Michelle Bryant.
What up, JT? How you doing this morning, sir?
Doing okay, young lady. And how about you?
Man, now that Juneteenth is over, I'm good. You heard her say young lady. Appreciate that, JT. Got these haters up
Try to get points wherever they can. They try to get points.
Good morning to that double legend school.
Thanks a lot, sir.
JT got my back this morning.
Hey, good morning to is that the legend Mr. Keon Jackson Malone?
It is.
Hey, man, not shame. I'm all right, sir. I'm all right. I'm in the building with fam.
Look, Carvey, can you show him how to put his laptop
in? I'm school.
I've been fooling with that for 10 minutes.
Man. Trying to fold something so it can stand.
What's going on, JT?
Well, first of all, I was going to just say to Mr. Devo, you're right about that, man, because about being called school, that happened to me at Walmart about a couple of weeks ago, for real.
It was school when I met you. Right. About 20 years ago.
And Devo, guess what, though?
Yeah.
When the young man said that to me, he said, hey, what's up, school? I said, well, thank you, young man, for acknowledging my intelligence. But thank you for being young, school. Because at least you didn't call me Pops.
Y'all better embrace all of that.
Hey, he could have. It would have fit.
Oh, yeah. JT, you right. He like Morgan Freeman. He been there.
Right.
Y'all dirty.
Sesame Street days.
Y'all dirty. Did you have something else, JT, before they start roasting you up in here?
Yeah. And it's very hot outside already, so y'all don't have to roast me like that.
That's
now.
Right.
So anyway, Michelle, I was going to just come quickly about Donald Trump being a race scene.
Okay.
And all those red. I didn't realize they had all those. I call it the Ku Klux Klan new attire. Those red mega caps.
Yep.
Yeah, and I said, man, I didn't realize that they had that many in race scene. But I thought it was interesting that they did on June 19th day. That's all.
It's all about design. It's all about design.
Yeah.
You know, and then he's on
that quickly.
No, thank you, JT. I appreciate it. I appreciate the call. It's all about design. You know, as this brother tries to, clean up the Milwaukee is a horrible city. Now he's down, on the mic in front of anybody that listen, talking about I love Milwaukee. Klan member, please. No, you don't. Let me go to the phone line. Hey, caller, what's happening?
Hey, what's happening? Hey, I'll be real quick. Hey, Michelle, my auntie, she used to hate when a lady come walking down the street say, hey, mama. And she said, you look older than me. Why you calling me mama? She used to hate that. And,
Look, I'm with your auntie on that, man.
I know it's something negative, but they did catch that guy who did that at Washington Park. Peace, y'all.
All right. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. Glad to know. And Key, you were out there for a while yesterday, weren't you?
Yeah, I was.
Man, pull out the mic, man.
First of all,
pull up the mic, man.
Debo know how to pull it up. I got a
Come on, man. You
Well, don't come up in here being Bryant.
Come on,
It's
man.
difficult.
Look, I was trying not to do that.
No, you ain't got to tip it.
Go ahead
Just
and
pull
move
it up.
I turned it off. Now
I know you're not used to being on this side.
There you go.
I know you're not used to being on this side.
And you were saying. You were saying.
You know what? And my man Vaughn is calling me right now. Let me tell you the whole purpose, and I just heard you when I got in the car talking about what happened afterwards. And you know, I'm the early warning signal. It happened about not long after I left. But first of all, the event was organized for the purpose of attracting a certain demographic by folks that understood to a certain area to keep some other folks safe for sure.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it was planned because the organizers of the last few years of, you know, Juneteenth, they seem reluctant to really deal with that problem, knowing it's going to be there. Maybe they just don't know how, and you know, we get caught up in stuff. So shouts out to Vaughn and the whole squad. I don't know exactly what the crew is. I know ComForce was part of it, but they had some other organizers that, you know, we all knew that was something that may happen there.
Right.
So let's not, you know, that event was made to, you know, put a ring around that. So big ups to him, my man Montreal Kane, you know, everybody was in the building. And they had, you know, folks that work with youth and situations and such in the mix, you know, the Running Rebels, saw 414 Life, 4 Minute, the Promise Keepers. So, you know, I think it was I was frustrated because I'm wearing this hat. And I was supposed to be in there. I was dressed like in barbecue clothes, the sandals with the open, you know, and the shorts, you know, the cargo shorts.
Is that those barbecue clothes?
Yeah. Somebody's like, "You supposed to be on the grill with them shoes," you know. I got the picture on Facebook, Jackson Malone. So I went to take pictures and market, you know, for Wisconsin Voices because they were a sponsor of the event.
Okay.
And Vaughn and ComForce are partners with you know, Wisconsin Voices, protecting democracy, teaching advocacy, and building community. That's what we do. So I went looking, you know, barbecue clean with the cameras and the backpacks. And I ended up going from one job to, you know, my purpose and being a violence interrupter. So there was a lot of fights going on that I was just like, I got the wrong shoes on, you know, and this hat, you know, I almost did the brawl. What's the
Mary Tyler Moore?
No, the dude on the boat.
Down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was like,
the folding chair.
He was like,
you about to throw out the signal.
Okay, it's on.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you, the police, and the FBI task force was out there in the beginning. You know
what?
Oh yeah, they told me I couldn't drive down it. But it wasn't like the hardcore boys with the look. It was the ones they put out by the parking gate to tell you can't come in. You know, they was talking real slick.
Okay.
Anyway, and you know, the sheriffs were there and the police were there, but you know, it wasn't in the middle. So after a while, I had to yell out, you know, why are the $15 an hour people breaking up all these fights where the police at? You know, and they heard my voice and what's going on? I'm like, dude, take her out of here. You know,
her.
Oh man, it was mama's.
Her.
Listen, it was an amazing event. Listen, it was 8 to 80 there of women, children, kids. So it was adults there too.
Okay.
You know, it was. I got a picture of a white man looking. He's like, hey, what's going on out here? All these, what's this?
I mean, but yeah, Sherman Park is a diverse neighborhood anyway, diverse community.
It was past 500-600. I mean, just
it was that many people there.
I wouldn't mind saying. I mean, the bleachers were full at one point in the grass.
Okay,
you know, just moving.
So they used the band shell. Is that where?
Yeah. So it was a great event. But you know, my guy and I were walking, monitoring. You know, some of the old school interrupters were there, really getting in. Let me give a shout out to Vic. Vic was in the mix, bumping folks like, hold on, you know, Rod and them, the Rebels, you know, other credible messenger groups. But you know, my man was talking about one of them, the mama. And I was like, is them babies? I was like, yeah, them babies. He said, you the mama? She said, yeah, it's about 5 of them. And I was like, yeah, that's, And that's 10 minutes later, that was the one talking about, that's my child, I don't care about your mama. You know, so,
see.
But we signed up for that, though.
Yeah, I mean, like I
said, I
wanted
to knock it down. It was an amazing event. Now, the stage looked like, you know, it been a little more organized. It looked like the school board meeting up there.
Really?
Right. It was all kind of chaos, but it was great entertainment. I got an hour and 50 minutes worth of footage on there. But I just want folks to know that event was meant to have some issues, and it was a lot less than probably could have been.
Oh, definitely.
But when you say meant, I don't think that would be the word.
It was meant. I'm just gonna use the layman's term. It was organized.
You expect it, not meant.
Oh yeah, no. So because certain folks don't want to include certain folks in planning, they want to hold the bread. Matter of fact, let me give a shout out. Some groups, I know Bader's name came up. I'll put that out there. That reneged and is known through the county at the end on this event. So the funds were gathered at like the last 5-6 days before the event. The final funds, really. I'm getting called from offices like I'm just a call guy. Like, can you call so and so and see if they can donate? And so that's one thing. But it was meant to bring something for the youth that we know at the end of the day get blamed for any and everything, even if it's one of them during these big events like Juneteenth. They're not coming to Garfield Days because that's a you bet not event. You better not act up here. Your great grandmama gonna whoop you.
I mean, and it's because Garfield Days just is a whole different vibe all the time. Anyway, but it was a ton of families. When you think about what was going on in King Drive, I'm glad to hear it was families out.
Oh,
at Vaughn's event. I just think that no matter what, until we get a handle on some of the other external things that contribute to people acting out, you're gonna always deal with a degree of element or a certain degree of people that's gonna bring drama to an event. But like you're saying, having the foresight to plan for it, to think it through, how do we contain, how do we provide alternative programming? You got to be willing to do that. Let me go to the phone line real quick. Hey, caller, what's happening?
Yeah, my government time is almost up. Waiting.
You know what? Don't claim your time.
They hung up on me twice. I had to call back. They said we can't read it. I mean, come on now. I love y'all. I love black people all over the world.
Don't be stealing key stuff.
How they doing over by the dumpster, Dino? What's going on by the dumpster?
Brother Keon Jackson Malone, man, I'm mad at you, man. You ain't stopped by the dumpster not once this month. I mean, the people came through and plowed the street and everything, and you ain't even came through. But that's all right.
I was.
He too good now, Dino. He always got his church clothes on and his little hats on. He too good, Dino. He left the radio station. He don't mess with none of us no more. He moved on up. He moved on up, Dino.
Now, Dino, I was just over there getting him to sign some paperwork for me, Michelle, so don't feed him. Yeah.
All right. And then I would also like to say that I got that $25 I need for my tea cake cookie.
Dude, I talked to Mama Nana at the Blues Festival, and she was like, I still make them tea cakes. So I was like, I know somebody who looking. So we're going to get you hooked up because I talked to Mama Nana.
Hook us up.
Yeah, she was like, nah, she's still dropping tea cakes, bro.
Keon? What happened to the recipe you spoken?
Wait.
Hey, tell her I'll shovel some snow. I'll be over there to take care of it.
You got a plow on your chair?
And then I also want to say, I want to say congratulations to Mr. Keith Parrish. Now that he can let go of that 40-year trauma that he had about the terrible trauma of fathers in the home. Now that he attended, I want to ask him and give him the alley-oop, but I don't want him to mess it up. I was going to say, how many fathers did you see? And then he could say a whole park full. And then I was going to ask him, how much of that did he have something to do with? Because now that you can see that there are fathers that you don't speak about, that aren't talked about, that show, and you can see the aura of the love of the people that have fathers, people that were fathers, people that learned to be fathers, and people that grew up to be fathers. So, man, you did a great job. So I don't want to hear no foul mouth, no Willie Whiplash snickering about that no more. So now, if you didn't see any fathers, and now that the drama that you heard and never lived, you don't have to repeat that now. You see that your work that you done did down there, done made men be fathers now. You see your work has blossomed. So, man, get that off your chest. Thank you. And beautiful Milwaukee, y'all, black Milwaukee, not just the beautiful Milwaukee, the beautiful black Milwaukee. I am so proud of y'all. Oh, y'all make me smile. I'm grinning like Never mind. Hey, y'all just with the sugar and honey. Y'all are beautiful. Y'all did Juneteenth. Y'all did Father's Day. Y'all did the grown men. Man, y'all just y'all so beautiful today.
All right, thank you, bro. Appreciate the call. Look, family, I gotta take a quick break. I gotta protect my chicken wings. Kiana opened up my pack and is eating at the mic for folks that's on YouTube and Facebook.
I never thought I would have seen it. Put the wrong got Jack.
Like,
Straight Jack.
I mean, literally eating my stuff in my face, open the seal. Because they came sealed professionally.
Yeah.
All right, I got to take. Man, they smell good. To them. I'm going to take a break. I'll be right back. It's tearing up my show.
Hey, have you heard the amazing news from Boost Mobile? When you switch to Boost, you get 4 lines for $100, plus 4 free 5G devices, like the Samsung Galaxy A15 or the Moto G Stylus 5G. That's 4 lines for $100. Need another reason to switch? Boost offers high-speed data at low
Lord, help me.
I
Come
need,
on.
Help me to hold out.
Help me.
and we gonna just mess up the song. Everybody just
Oh, I was singing Johnny Hathaway. I don't know what the hell they were singing.
Help me to hold out.
Come on now, because I need all that.
He
Lord,
played the bass, drums, and the keys.
help me to hold out. Watch this part right here. Dun, 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 dun. Until the Negroes leave.
Are done.
Are done. That'll work. You
Wait.
should have sang that part.
Carvey said it sounded like a slave song.
No, that's like
That's James Cleveland.
That's you talking about.
Sounded like a slave song anyway.
You know, all they singers got hot. They like sopranos and altos. So
So that's what James Cleveland talk like that.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, you know, well, let me do this real quick, then, and that was a great segue. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. Honor thy father and thy mother. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. Thou shalt not covet. The 10 Commandments. Just yesterday, in the state of Louisiana, the Louisiana State Legislature had introduced, a legislator had introduced a bill, went through committee, ultimately made it to the full House for a vote in both houses, and it passed. The governor signed off on the bill, House Bill 71, which was approved, and I said yesterday, but it was approved last month, got signed into law, most recently by Republican Governor Jeff Landry, that the 10 Commandments are now required to be displayed in public schools all across the state of Louisiana, effective 2025. The 10 Commandments are now required in the state of Louisiana to be displayed in public schools all across the state, effective 2025.
Society break half of them.
Well, I mean, they society or they party. The legislation specifies the exact language that must be printed on the classroom displays, outlines that the text of the 10 Commandments must be the central focus of the poster or frame document. And it just, I just am interested. You know, Jerron, your mom owns a school, faith-based. The name of the school, Believers in Christ. But that is a choice school.
It's a choice school. Yeah.
Choice school.
Yes, choice school.
Choice school. Keon, you in and out schools, dealing with kids all the time. First of all, I'm just interested in what other people think, because I know what I think about the 10 Commandments being required. You know, because it almost in tandem with the fact, you know, how they took prayer out of school, but just some opinions from other folks. Anybody that wants to get in on this conversation, please call in 414-444-5250. 10 Commandments being required in school. What y'all think?
Well, I guess it was no different than me going to Harambe school in some ways or shape. I just got the black movement installed in that too. But I've spoken with Pastor Marcus Arrington once about that.
Marcus Arrington over at Parkland?
Yeah.
Okay.
He came in because, you know, he was an educator too.
Okay.
Also,
I didn't know.
So I was talking. The next show I wanted him on was to discuss the separation of church and the schools, because, you know, religion, spirituality, you know, it helps folks to understand how to heal. It's a lesson I think everybody should have some type of base in God in some way, shape, or form. On a non-biased, you know, if you into it, you into a thing. But yeah, I think there's some type of structure that needs to be instilled in our youth, because churches is not there anywhere. God doesn't seem to be in the picture. You know, I had something to fall back on, like the prodigal son, when me and all my church family grew up together doing all the ills and wiles of the world together through the schools, you know, in the neighborhoods, but we still had something to fall back on. We still had a sense of morality of right and wrong.
So yes or no, 10 Commandments in school or not?
That'll be out.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I just want to like make sure I get to it.
Oh,
what are you
if
saying?
you want A or B, you should say that at the beginning.
No, I didn't mind.
Sounded like a
I
yes.
didn't mind you waxing philosophical about the issue. Like I'm okay with that.
Like
but
yes.
That's a yes.
Yes.
Don't get loud, bro.
Woman.
Don't
get, look at me.
You like Oh, you gonna charge me?
Her 2 fingers.
So Deron, what do you say?
I disagree because there's supposed to be a separation between church and state, and if the state's implementing that, I think they're crossing the line, because that's a religious thing, and all religions don't necessarily subscribe to the 10 Commandments. But I think there's a way to teach solid morals or societal morals, or to teach people how to stray away from societal ills. You can instill, strong standards, strong skill sets, right versus wrong, without having to beat somebody over the head with something, as blatant as the 10 Commandments.
Diva?
I clearly can concur with what you said as far as separation of church and state, but to the same extent, it's a drastic move, but I think it's one more people should adapt.
I'm not saying
we got to have somewhere
thing.
to go, man, to try to reel people back into just plain good common sense morals.
But if you're going to have the separation between church and state, then you're blurring the lines there.
Well, obviously, they don't want the separation. Now, it'll probably end up in Supreme Court or somewhere,
ACLU is challenging the law.
Yeah,
they're challenging the law.
But I clearly understand the premise of it. So for me, I don't have a problem with it. I think yes.
I still just think there's other ways to get the same, hit the same point home without being so.
But all of those things that are in the 10 Commandments, if they weren't named the 10 Commandments, and they were just a list of 10 different things that basically said the same thing, but because it says the 10 Commandments, that's where the issue is. It's not what it's saying. It's because it's called the 10 Commandments is where
not just because it's called the 10 Commandments, but because it's based in a particular religion. It's based in the tip,
yes
comes
and no,
from
Michelle,
the Bible.
because when it says thou should not covet thy neighbor's house, don't lie on people. I mean, these are just morals.
I get that these are basic values that most people would subscribe to.
That's all it is, a list of
most of that is illegal anyway.
I said most, but I don't think that it belongs in the school. I think that we have to be careful. You talked about blurring lines, and number one, people talking about people believe in different gods. Some people believe in no God. We got people that are atheists, and so I come into a school setting. And this is what I'm forced to look at every day as a student in school. And so how is that fair to that child? Or I'm of a different, I'm a Mormon, I'm whatever. I don't, I like sound like an old Jewish man.
Exactly. But it says, now that's the cornerstone. So what it does is now, since that's allowed, now we got to get diverse with it. Would you call
because and then because this is the thing, who decides what religious doctrine should be included in the school? But everybody's not a Protestant, everybody's not evangelical, blah blah blah. Who decides? And these people are imparting their religious beliefs onto everybody else.
So guess what? Now we got to do it like life.
They didn't care nothing about what your religion was or nothing. You prayed in the school. What if you don't care nothing about? I remember every morning we had to get up and recite the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag.
Right.
Do they still do that?
That's somebody's religion.
That's still something.
That's somebody's religion.
No, that's a state sanctioned activity.
Yeah.
So it's not a religious activity.
I got you.
And so
indoctrination.
just like we swear when we go into court, or we take an oath, we do those things. That's a part of state doctrine.
But then isn't that a separate?
And I mean,
am I putting my hand on the Bible?
Did prayer in school make a difference? Did it make a difference?
It made a difference in how your day started.
And how your day started.
Yeah.
For some. For others, it didn't. I mean, wasn't nobody knocking you down if you sat down. I sat down through all the pledges of allegiance. I didn't get in no Colin Kaepernick trouble. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't believe in it like that as a child. I went to Harambe.
Well, that was the.
Well, you know what? We got some folks on the line. Let's see if we can get them in.
Would have got on here.
Hey, caller, what's happening?
Yes, I have to agree. I don't speak well, but that brother that spoke before Debo said exactly what I would love to have said. I agree with him totally. He said it said it right. What's the other words? That you repeated, Michelle. That we was I just can't come up with. But that brother hit it on there. That is separate. That is something that should be taught in the home. That was something that's basic morals. But basic morality is not normal in every home. It's not normal, not the same in every home. So those are the 10 laws that God gave man. I guess that all religions agree with that. But then, like you said, you can't print that and give that to somebody and say all that and this. And so, yeah, that's to your home, to your bedroom, not on TV and not in front of everybody and the kids. So, yeah.
All right.
Wow,
Thank you, bro.
It's a topic that's going to be dangerous. It's going to wreck a lot of business, a lot of life, and a lot of make people. You can't be flimsy on the fence. You got to get on one side or the other.
All right. Thank you, bro. I appreciate it. I just got a Facebook message. Good morning, Alex. Alex said, so if the 10 commandments are going to be implemented in the schools, up there for full display, what happens if the commandments are broken? Since this is something we highlight, what happens if they broke? So will that become guiding principle for the school?
I guess that's a lesson for life, because some of them things can get you locked up. Some of them can get you killed.
You
don't believe in them,
sure,
you do them in life.
But
that's what I'm saying. Cover somebody else's woman if you want to. At your own risk.
Okay. Let me go to the phone line. Here we go. It's going to be that morning. Hey, caller, what's happening?
Good morning. I'm going to say from the ruler to the tuller. I 100% disagree. It's a psychological and a spiritual warfare. So I don't think that should be in the school, because let the truth be told, God wasn't right neither. Not when it comes to rape, slavery, and polygamy. Plus, he probably got a couple of outside babies and had a few diseases, because the antibiotics and the penicillin was not created till the 40s and 50s. And when you look at the book, and they got all that sex, all of them was not peeing afterwards. So it was a whole lot of pH balances off. So I disagree with it 100% from the rooter to the tuller. Have a good morning.
Thank you, bro. You have a good morning as well.
What is a tuller?
That's behind.
That was
the rooter is your behind, the tutor is your nose. Tutor.
Which way does it go? Is a rooter the back?
Tutor.
No, that's a he.
It's a he. That's a brother. Yeah.
I like messing with that. It's tutor.
Yeah. You said tutor.
He
said it the way he was to say it. The way, look, I got time. Let me get the next caller. Hey, caller. I'll be right with you doing. Let me get the next caller. Hey, caller, what's happening?
Top of the day to y'all.
What's happening, bro? Top of the day. Back.
Listen, no. It didn't work back in the days when there's putting that whip to black people, instilling that so the Bible into our people. That's just another way they can try to get an upper hand. So no, because everybody, just think, it's supposed to be one God, but there's all these different denominations. Let's stop playing with this. If you wanna teach something to these kids from K4 to the 5th grade, they shouldn't be learning nothing about no mathematics, science. They should be learning etiquette in schools. If they gonna have that in schools, they should be trying to teach kids how to be lawyers, doctors at that age. They should be teaching them how to be respectful, how to pull out chairs, teach them things that they should know at a young age. And y'all know, I'm probably being a little overzealous with what I'm saying, but I'm saying that the kids, they need to be taught how to not be so whatever they are. Because my kids wasn't bad. And I ain't have to whoop them. I did one time. But in school, doing them 10 Commandments. And honestly, it was more than 10 Commandments. The white people just took the ones they wanted to instill in people. So let's stop playing with them and start giving them the opportunity to choose stuff. They dumb. Let's do what we need to do. Let's get somebody to be black president. 2018, I'm running for president. I need more for president.
The last guy who blew up like that cost him his support. Remember that, Michelle?
I do. So, thank you, bro. I appreciate the call.
Ivy is my guy too from way back. So I respect Ivy, and respectfully, I'm gonna teach us how to stop doing that. You know what I'm saying? This is what we're doing. The big homie, we always had a conversation about in this civilization here, we are taught to, just like love and hate. Dr. King talked about the separation of love and hate is this or that. It's not a whole to love and to hate is well balanced, or to be a father and have a mother is well balanced. We got to stop dividing and conquering. The world is not always this or that. It keeps us from having a plus and. You know, we can all be right, but the division, you know, is what causes us to. And y'all don't know, if you listen to what I just heard, I mean, you saying because you feel it's a religion or it's a black or white thing, those moral values, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not covet. You know,
well, then just say that and don't call them the 10 Commandments.
I mean, that's what I said.
Just say what Debo
only because it's called the 10 Commandments. That's the issue.
But here's the thing. All of us are revolutionary. Everybody fights for change. You know, once they allow it in there, you're supposed to fight for all the rest of them. Why not just have them all on the board?
But I think
so somebody, because you know, because all together,
what I think that
you know what I'm
saying? To me, y'all don't appreciate is that it's a Pandora's box. Because if I can make you have to have the 10 Commandments posted in your school from our religious, beliefs, what else can I force in your school?
Exactly.
You know, I can go back to girls can't wear dresses. Can't wear pants anymore because, you know, there were people that told you in certain religions, women didn't wear pants. I can tell you, you know, that y'all got to be separated, boys and girls, different, you know, in different rooms. If you bring in that aspect of religion, there are other aspects of religion that, what stops you from bringing it in?
It's a slippery slope. Once you open that door, it's a slippery slope.
I mean, because it's not that anybody disagrees with the basic tenets of the 10 Commandments, but when you start forcing your religion on people and bringing that in, what else do you bring in? What else do you bring in? Because that's the thing, and people have to be able to figure out, what am I willing to give up? All right, I gotta get ready to switch gears. Let me get this caller in, and then we'll switch gears. Hey, caller, what's happening?
My bad.
You all right?
I won't keep my brother Keon to think I'm talking about religion as a problem. We need to get away from that in our schools and thinking that's what we need to run to teach our kids. And any religion, race. I'm not. You know who I don't like? My shoes, when I have to take them off and I've been in the water and they stink. That's the only thing I don't like. Some stanky socks. I'll be around all kinds of different nationalities. It's gonna be some good ones and it's gonna be bad ones in all nationalities. But it's always something that makes something or corrupts something that's good.
Yeah.
And that's what it's gonna turn out to.
Yeah. You know, I got a lot of educator friends in these probably
thank you for the call.
I got a lot of educator friends in these schools that for their own health and safety, including my sisters, my cousins, my dearest friends, and you know, that really want some kind of security other than MPS security, and they be like, man, you know, we need the police in here. I don't know why, because on the other side, everybody talking about Republican and Democrat, while parents are jumping over tables. And when a young kid, mama tell him or daddy tell him he can do it a certain way, and he jump on another grown man that's a security guard, and the grown man do what he's supposed to do as a man to a young bull, And when he's
you said to a young bull, that's a young child.
yeah, no,
that's a young child.
I got you. No. Because guess what? If that dude I saw knock that dude out was 17, he wasn't no child because he was so
He's
tall.
still a child.
I got you. But when you buck, okay, because if I say buck up, you're gonna be talking about slavery.
No,
so
I know the
talking,
difference.
I know. So you should have understood the man difference I'm talking about. Is that's a child. Don't call them kids. They're not ghosts. They eat like them. So it's cool. Whatever. I'm just saying the whole point was not the wording. It's when a child tests a grown man and can whoop him and get suspended or something. And when you put him down just the way we was taught to get handled, to mind your manners and stay in your place, he got to go to jail for doing his job.
No,
not
because
as a man.
As somebody who worked in child welfare and who worked where I had to physically restrain, I had an all-male unit. I had to physically restrain boys all the time that was fighting, that tried to fight me, that tried to fight staff. I was taught techniques to physically restrain those boys that didn't hurt them, injure them. My knee wasn't in their neck. My knee wasn't in their back. Their head wasn't getting slammed into the wall because I was taught the proper way to physically engage a child. As long as you properly physically engage a child, you're not going to jail. But when you want to fight a child like you fighting a dude in the street, you want to bust him in the head like you fighting somebody in the street.
That's not what's going on.
If you do it the way you train to do it, you don't go to jail.
When you got a whole staff of teachers and security in a middle school and high school, a small building that was once built to be a middle school, and they got to retreat into a room because they understaffed and it's a melee full of kids out there.
That has nothing to do with the way you interact with a child.
That's what goes on in the
schools are understaffed and under-resourced.
They want somebody legal.
Bringing the 10 Commandments in the school ain't gonna change that.
The police part.
Okay. And then somebody hit me up and said, was it correct about there being more than 10 commandments? There were originally 613. The earliest account of God giving Israel the 613 commandments dates to the 3rd century CE, found in Babylonian Talmud. And they talked about that the rabbi gave a sermon, 613 commandments were communicated to Moses. So that was in there. And then they said ultimately at some point, we're down to the 10, and they give you the references where the 10 commandments are found in the Bible: Exodus, Deuteronomy 4:13, and Deuteronomy 10:4, and Exodus 34:28. So there was, the phones have lit up. Okay, y'all. I can't, y'all gonna have to mess with Keith on this one, or I may have time when I'm done with Keon, but let me do this. Can I take a commercial break, D? I can't. Why? What? No, you can't.
Have one till the 49.
You can't bill me a moment to step out. Why y'all just so difficult? See, the commandments don't help you Negroes. It don't help y'all at all.
Who you talking about?
You.
Hold on. You had him do unto you.
What you doing your head?
You on the others, you had him do unto you.
Sucker MC. I always made.
What is all of the head movement?
Cause you got my blood to boiling now. Boiling.
Really?
Confounded.
3 brothers against me, but I got it.
It takes 3. It takes 3 against you.
Y'all really.
See, you're gonna make me do the key. I'm
gonna take a break. I need to have a little work up in the studio. I'll be right back.
Need a job? Listen up. Starting pay for correctional officers at the Milwaukee County Reintegration Center in Franklin starts about $30 an hour. Yes, that's $30 an hour. Go to county.milwaukee.gov and
Got another brother in the studio. I just don't know what's up with all these brothers this morning.
I hope he can conduct himself better than the last guy. What do you think?
Too.
Well, Duran went to go get my cookies, so unfortunately he ain't even done.
Right.
I just, just pray for us, Jesus. just pray.
I know. See,
pray
for
for us,
so we got
Jesus.
cookies coming too.
Yeah, he said he was gonna go back and pick some up. All right, so Keon, first of all, good to see you, bro.
Hey man, I said good to see you.
I ain't had to argue. I ain't had to fight.
We just had one.
I know. I said I ain't had to.
Oh yeah, you gotta get your workout on.
Show up. Debo talk slick. He get in and he tap out. You like to stay, so you don't know how to act. But
I help you train for the war.
Is that
it's
what
like?
it
It's like practice. Tuba
Really?
practice.
Nice.
Unicue.
Nice to see you. Nice to see you.
Hello.
Joined the studio by another handsome brother at the mic. What's up, fam?
How you doing, Michelle?
I'm good. Introduce yourself to the people.
I'm Brandon Triggs, director of helping kids better themselves.
I like that Juneteenth hat. That's slick.
Thank you.
Where you get that hat from?
J.C. Penney a while ago in South Ridge.
No,
2 years ago.
in South Bend.
South Ridge.
South
a few years
Ridge.
ago, yeah.
South Ridge.
Mm-hmm.
Really? I like that. Okay.
It's reversible too. I will take it off if my braids wasn't raggedy.
Okay. I'm gonna need that hat. So bruh, you are in this morning. We got a couple of events happening in the community, needs to be aware of, goals of being able to do some positive things and support the community in a number of ways. So first event that we discussed, why you turn this way?
Because I love you, baby.
That way. Yeah,
baby.
Don't come in here, see? This like when you used to go with a dude, and then the new dude is here. The old dude come in and want to walk up in the house, opening up the cabinets like, I know where the hot sauce is.
Right.
Like let folks know. Just to steal my spot.
Well, I'm gonna tell you why you're not the new dude, because I told him to sit next to you. He wanted to see Skater.
I ain't talking about Brandon.
He wanted to stay over there.
I'm talking about you.
No, you said the new dude come. He didn't want the new dude didn't want to sit next to you.
Used to be over there.
No. She thought
No,
about how I blocked you like this.
No, I ain't talking about that. You right. You know what I'm talking about. All right. So tell me what's going on. What's happening?
Oh, you want to talk to me now? So anyway, Brandon is in helping kids better themselves. So Brandon is from the neighborhood, over Route 11th at Atkinson, Promise Keeper, director of helping kids better themselves, which is the basketball camp that was really the catalyst for the Village Group and the breakfast program and the programming that we do over there that we've done over the years, really prior to COVID. So we're really trying to kick that back off. So Brandon has the basketball camp, and we do the breakfast and lunch for the kids at summer meals, and we start the program around that. So helping kids better themselves was started by his father.
Yeah.
And it's been in the neighborhood long before so in the partnership, get it done.
Well, let me do this.
Fundraising.
Let me do this, because a lot of people, because this is my first time actually understanding what the organization is, or hearing, because I know you out here. I know you do the work, but I just know your face. I know you do the work. Help people understand the backstory real quick on the organization.
Well, the organization started a while back. It actually started out of just the basketball roots. It was pretty much a travel AAU basketball program with my father and his friends.
What's your dad's
back
name?
In the day. Walter Triggs. So that's
Okay.
where the T came from. It was Harper Triggs. The last name was Bird for the other guy. And I forget the name of the guy with the K.
Really?
They were all buddies. They took the first initial of their last name and made that HKBT acronym, helping kids better themselves. And it just grew out of that. It spawned out of that. We started getting in the community because of Keon and the basketball camp and the meals program and the food pantries and everything else. So it just spawned out of basketball, honestly.
And so, is your dad still around? Does he?
Yeah, he's around.
He's watching. He's seeing what's going on with the
but
program.
he don't have much to do with it now. He just sit back and play the background. And
Okay, and so you guys end up hooking up because of the meals program. Keon, how do y'all come together?
Brandon told me his cousin brought him to my house when he was how?
I don't know. I was young, though. I probably was about
neighborhood.
18 or so.
Okay.
He told me that recently, and I had to think about it. So I actually started with Diane Straughter, the program in 2017, rest her soul, my A1 day one, that really wanted to do something in the community. And she saw two young men that wanted a basketball camp. So I'm like, I'm not a basketball dude, but I can see who in the neighborhood, it's a basketball neighborhood I can see. And it was Terrence Griffin, who, we're 2 generations strong in neighborhood family, 3 actually. And he was kind of leading the camp. So, that's how it really started. And Brandon was his, part. I didn't know.
Yeah, we were
Brandon's
good childhood friends, Terrence and I. We grew up together.
So as time went on and things happened, the next year Brandon ended up running the camp. Because when you're doing volunteer work, some folks, kids, a lot of them got to go to work. So he kind of gave it up and started assisting. And Brandon took it over. So
but
that's
he's
how
still a part of it. Terrence still a part of it. He like my main man. Anytime I need something, I can call on him. He's there for us. So
he's a promise keeper also.
Okay.
He's still a big part of it.
So that's how it kind of started. And then, the story goes when we started doing activities in the park that had been shut down by the city and the county for public use for decades.
The park pretty much was kind of shut down, man. That was like the meeting ground for all the.
Well, what do you mean? How does the park shut down? What do you mean it was shut down?
In a sense, it was shut down because the people in the neighborhood kind of used it just for their meeting spots in the little killing field in the area. So as we kind of brought this back to the park, the camp and everything, it was more like the people in the neighborhood kind of just started respecting the kids' space now. They gave that space back to the kids during the times we there.
Really?
Pretty much all day now.
And what I found out in the work we were doing is that people from the neighborhood who were now in position in government and everything else, who knew this park when they were kids, one day somebody called me and said, "Dawg, you know why your program is so successful?" I said, "Why?" He said, "Because people know that neighborhood and used to play in that park and they know why it was shut down, and for them to see children eating and playing at 8 a.m. in the morning, that's your favor. And you don't know how many people go across this thoroughfare to go to work or come from work off this expressway." So people in different departments start letting me know. That's how the Keon thing, I think really the village group, they really blew up because it was Atkinson Park. The neighborhoods were divided by drugs and territory back in the 90s. I had a man show on that with the original, cats that came from different organizations. And some of the brothers that we know from the neighborhood said it used to be a village. Atkinson, the neighborhood ran from the freeway on 8th Street to 32nd Street, and we knew everybody because we walked to school and we hung out with each other. Then the 90s came and we kind of split it up and the drama came. So there was a building, like when you go to Columbia Park and you see these buildings, these utility
Where's
buildings.
Columbia Park? For
any city park, like even what's the park used to be Lindbergh, Lucille Berrien Park. They have the utility rooms that used to be voting areas back in the day.
Okay.
Because of what was going on, they tore that building down in Atkinson Park.
Okay.
So there used to be bathrooms and everything. And it was hard for me to get a permit that first year. Why Atkinson? And I'm talking about shut down by the county. It's not they didn't want activity there, but we kind of showed improvement.
So number one,
come back around, the county now is actually pouring into the park and helping us out now.
I mean, like number one, it means so much to see brothers, come in to reclaim spaces, and then you think about you reclaiming them for these kids. So it's almost like a full circle moment, particularly knowing that your dad, was out here in that work. Key, your dad was like everybody's daddy.
His daddy was like, I know that name.
So that part of it is cool. But now we are at this point where you guys are expanding, doing more work, trying to bring additional resources, attention to the programs. So what's the event that you guys have coming up?
This is pretty much our second annual comedy showcase. It's just a fundraiser that we do, an adult night out for the parents. But we do have an AAU team still also.
Okay.
So it's just a time for the parents and the adults in the city to come hang out, have a good time, enjoy themselves, some laughter.
And let me get you for real. Fun. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. And he's doing it, the brother is doing it as a fundraiser for the basketball camp. And the basketball camp is not just what happens on Atkinson with me, it's like just that's soft. That's like a training. Alfonso Watkins used to come run them at a certain time, but they actually do basketball throughout the year. It's an AAU team too. But the fundraiser is going to help, them be able to comfortably make things happen at the park for any, for the AAU team and their recruitment.
I mean, so like, because when people in caller, I see you, I'm gonna get to you. But so like when people support either directly, just like making a donation to the organization, or indirectly by coming to a comedy show, those proceeds do what? They pay for what?
They pay for a lot of uniforms, our travel. We travel with our AAU team all across the nation in the summertime. So travel.
And is this at a cost to the
AAU.
kids? Who covers this travel?
That's pretty much the fundraiser. And then like we do charge a light team fee for the most part, usually about $400, $400 to $500. When most AAU teams charging upwards of $1,200 to $5,000, literally for their kids to go travel and play throughout the summer. You know, they got to get those kids put up, hotels.
Let's just keep it real.
Everything.
The guys from the neighborhood, him and his coaches, and those that support from the neighborhood make things happen for these shorties. So now it's just time to,
So a lot of this y'all doing out your pocket.
All the time.
That's what we've been doing out our pocket for the longest. Like now we got $1,000 grant coming in, a $600 grant, another $1,000. So a little bit of money is starting to roll in to help us out a little bit now. So it's getting the load is getting a little bit lighter. So
and let me be straight up. That's from the other work he does. We got him in position. I got him in position with the Promise Keepers so they can get some money to be able to come do that in the morning. And these guys took off to where everybody was like, your boys are hikers and they're real business. Some people was training. They're getting trained to be credible messengers. And some folks live on the block and come out the door. I just heard a story about a dude the other day, shooting went on. He went outside and snapped on everybody, So, the donations came from the Milwaukee Parks Foundation, who've been partnering and helping elevate the Village Group program. And I've been partnering with them. This will be the second year, and then I really brought Brandon in because they were really into the camp. And, he had a compassionate story that a lot of people have that work, get breadcrumbed out here to do the work. But so.
Okay, well, tell people about the event so we can get some folks out there and help relieve some of the financial responsibility. So it's a comedy set.
Yeah, it's a comedy show. We have D-Rock, a local comedian, Doc B, legendary Doc B, will be DJing for us on the ones and twos. T-Dot actually from Milwaukee, T-Dot Kingsby. He actually lives in Phoenix now, but he'll be here for us. Promise, the Bucks in-game announcer and radio personality in Milwaukee. And along with Adrian Washington, who opens up for Donnell Rawlins, travels with him and Chappelle them on a regular, he's coming down to support us from Minneapolis. We're in from the Twin Cities, so it'll be a good night full of fun, drinks,
so the 29th is standing out. That's
the same night as the white party.
That's the white party. I know. Yeah, because I'm gonna be.
Yeah,
okay.
They pushed the time a little bit because some folks wanted to be involved.
Because what time is the white party? Because I'm gonna be at the white party. We end at midnight at the white party. I ain't gonna be there at midnight.
A lot of people ain't gonna be able to make it.
So, but I can go to the white party and then dip out and come over to the comedy show.
Please do.
Hold on. Don't forget the birthday party for the kids that day too.
That's Homer's Day
this
too.
This is and my birthday.
Oh, your birthday on the 28th.
Yeah, we're not talking about that.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So this event starts at 8:30. Doors open at 8:30. Show starts at 9:30.
Yes.
Okay, so I do have time to go to the party, kick it, hang out, and then come over by y'all.
Yep.
You might get stuck though, because these are some funny folks.
Well, and I see
you might get stuck at the comedy show in white.
Y'all said free food
for the first hour. Get people through the door.
So how much is this extravaganza gonna cost?
Tickets start at $25.
That's affordable.
Yeah, you can.
I like that.
Yep.
They start at what's the range?
Actually, tables go up to 200 for a table, but that admits 4 people.
Table
if you do a table.
Okay, so we're talking about 50 basically.
Yeah, VIP is like the first 2 rows or so for $35. So it's still affordable all the way around the board.
So I'm VIP, right? He said in my mind, Gerard is back in the corner, being irritating.
And I know we clashed with the white party that day though, but we had this set for months out.
Okay.
The day Adrian Washington could make it down here, so we had this set. We didn't know the white party was gonna be that day, but next year we should be able to get everything squared away on the day our own.
Well, you know what? I number one, I believe in multiple options. Because everybody ain't going to the white party, because by the time you get done trying to find your fit, I spent $500 trying to go to the white party.
$500 on them tickets too, probably. Yeah. White party, a little expensive.
And did you see where it's at?
Where is it at? Oh, it's at.
100 Gems.
I love this location.
Doc actually said it's the what do you say? The best kept secret in the mill.
Yeah, that's how they want.
So 100 Gems. What is that like across from
the full of culture when you go in there?
Is that Abundant Faith?
It was the Old Abundant Faith.
Yeah.
That was the campus. So it's 100 Gyms campus.
It is. I've been in. That's where I went for the Republican little town hall that Meacham had, and where I was about to, they had the Reform Fellas Ball there this year.
Yes.
We weren't talking about.
Oh
it.
yes.
They had the Reform Fellas Ball there. I heard that it went really well.
She's trying to move on. You see it deflecting.
I mean, I had no problem.
Like it wasn't a whole show.
I could stay right there. I could stay right there. But I just want to say shout out to Greg Kennedy. He came up to me at Juneteenth yesterday.
He did. And good conversation. Y'all kissing made up.
I put my number in his phone.
Okay.
I did that. So it is going to be, this facility is actually really, really nice. Like I'm trying to figure out what I can host there just because I like the facility so much. And when you go by, it's nondescript. You don't understand how plush and how nice this place is on the inside. Multiple rooms, multiple use spaces. The general area. They got some slick little side rooms. People that's in the podcasts and stuff. So it's like the brothers.
They even got a big room for cars. The Corvette Club do their little car show thing in a big back
Seriously?
room. Oh, yeah, I took a tour of the whole place. It's
because I think
nice.
I walked through most of it. But it's phenomenal what these black owned, what brothers have done with this facility. When we start talking about places to hold events, because I tell people all the time, y'all, we got to have our own Italian community center. We got to have our own place that those dollars stay and get recycled in the black community. The Italian community center came up off black people, because every black event, church, sorority, anything was happening down there. So I'm glad to know that this is an option. And if you are not familiar with it, it's called 100 Gyms. I don't know who the contact person is over there that people want to try to, book it or
not really that kind of party.
Not that.
If you know somebody, it's really an invitation only type of party. They don't want it to be that.
I was talking to I can't even just call.
I mean,
I better be able to have my party there.
I mean, yeah. What they don't want it to be is that next hot spot.
Because ain't nothing that big, do you? I mean,
you know that many people.
That many people gonna show up.
Right.
They got a couple spaces in there though.
Look,
like you got a smaller
Thank you.
Yeah, smaller.
VIP section.
Hey,
little bar bathroom.
You think you helping, Brandon? You ain't helping. They got some smaller spaces for your 8 guest Michelle. You're gonna be all right.
Kids coming. That's 6 guests.
So I'm gonna get ready to end the show because it's Thursday. But I want to then just have you remind people one more time, if they want to get tickets, come out, check out the comedy. Because a lot of these brothers out here are super talented. Where should they go? What should they do?
Tickets are on Eventbrite or tickettailor.com, or you can visit our website, www.hkbtt.org.
Say it again.
For a link, www.hkbtt.org.
All right. So I'll mention it one more time, because whatever we can do to help these kids in AAU basketball, support what you guys are doing. I've seen the work. It's phenomenal. Super proud of y'all. And then just real quick, can you mention this basketball camp before we go?
Fast Breaking Breakfast Basketball Camp, Monday through Thursday, June 24th through August 22nd, pretty much the entire summer. 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. Breakfast, lunch, and basketball.
Is it kids only for the area over there?
No, it's for any kid in the entire city, man, age 6 to 14.
And also, if you want to do some other programming, give me a holler and we can get you in there. We're looking for activities. Okay. Safe social space is the program.
My man. All right. Well, let me just say it's been a great show this morning. I want to thank everybody that helped make it go. Thanks to Mr. Jerome Brown. I know I'm not rolling in enough for bringing me my food. I want to thank Keon Jackson for eating my food and showing up. Brandon, do you have somebody in your family named Fritz? Triggs?
Our family's so big, I don't know, but not that I know of.
You look like you're related to Fritz. But thank you to my brother for coming in, making us aware of this activity. Debo, appreciate you. Carvey. Yeah. All right, we're going to get out the way for Keith Perez' family. Oh, my God, I'm off. I'll talk to y'all next week. Peace.
Girl, we got to find us a better solution. Just let it all